welcome back to another stream. Today we are doing another gunpla building stream. This time around we are building the full mechanics aerial, as you can see right here. Now the box is rather large as well, which is probably why, well, partially why I have to pose it like this rather than like this to get it all on camera. But all right. While I open this up, I'm going to tell you guys a couple fun facts about this kit in particular. So, Full Mechanics Aerial is, well, similar to the other Full Mechanics line. It is a 1/100th scale kit, but it is unlike the Re-100, the Reborn 100 line, in that it has a lot more details in comparison to the Reborn 100 line. In fact, I feel like this thing is just an upscaled high grade with a lot more surface detail because it does have all the intricacies on the surface of a master grade, or at least it should have. However, uh, it doesn't have any of the internal structures or little gimmicks a master grade might have, such as an opening cockpit, or a pilot figure, or an internalized skeleton. Pretty much all of that is only going to be found on real grades, master grades, and perfect grades, whereas the full mechanics line simply has, well, simply replicates all the surface detail of the suit, but nothing else. So we can't do something like build the internal frame first and then stack all the armor on top, because it doesn't have a fully dedicated internal frame. I mean, it does have a fair amount of internal parts, but it doesn't have a singular, fully fledged internal frame. Anyways, without further ado, let us begin. We're going to start by packing open some of these bags. So we do have a lot of red, like metallic, painted red parts here. These are painted, like pre-painted parts, as you can see from the back. So they are painted red for the permit score. We do have both decent color separation. And this other runner, along with some real grade S sticker decals. These ones are cut relatively close to the border, so I don't think you're going to need to do too much work if you want to get these to look good. Oh, we got the beam sabers, which are identical in shape and design to the high grade ones. Same with the connection point. Their connection point is the same as well in shape. Of course, we do have the color separated plastic, color separated eyes as well. Those are metallic green eyes. Of course, we have the blue everywhere, especially on the shield. I already see parts of it right there. We have some yellow for just accents, and we have some clear black. We do have some more red accents right here, mainly for parts of the feet, the waist, and I think this might be a bit of the shoulder, but I'm pretty sure we do have another one of these. A bit of the forehead there, and some of the chin, I believe. A ton of white. We're gonna have another white run around pretty sure, at least one more. Some more red parts, again, probably for shoulder, waist, or actually no, these are ankles, I think. Yeah, I think these are just ankles, never mind. Maybe some shoulder, I don't remember. No, these are not shoulders, it's just all ankles. I think over here is the only waist bit. And feet. we do have a giant beam effect part for the rifle. That's pretty nice. Same color as the beam sabers. Speaking of the rifle, we have it here along with some more internal parts. And I think this is for the shield, if I'm not mistaken, where everything connects to. We do have a fair amount of runners, but it isn't as many as the Master Grade would have, I don't think. We have more bits of the shield here, along with some joints. This might just be a replication of this runner. Yeah, it's the same. So we got two of the same runners for mirroring purposes. The internal structure is left to right. Finally, our last set of white runners. Yeah, we got a lot of parts here to work with still, but let's get all this sorted. Let's see, actually, I'm gonna put all the frame parts on my right. Okay, so these two runners are the same, except we're just missing this. I think these are the thighs, but everything else on these should be the same. And over here again, we're just missing this part. That's the only difference. Okay, I think that's all the parts sorted. Actually, which runner are you? Are you A? Yeah, you are A. So, without further ado, let us begin. So, the one neat thing that this does is that it does break up which steps. Oh, shit. It does break up which steps make up what parts. Did I get a paper cut? I almost got a paper cut. I don't see any blood. But we're going to start with the legs first. So, again, I feel like this is just going to be a scaled up high grade with a couple extra parts and details here and there. This booklet also does list out gimmicks that the kit has. For example, sliding armor, which it does incorporate, and a proper toe bend, unlike the high grade. Alright, so starting with the feet. We got two runners here that we're going to be working on at the same time. Plastic is really nice to cut. Buttery smooth. Oh, it also seems like every part is separated on the runner already, so like all the parts are pre-categorized into, well, pre-grouped into which parts go where. So for example, all the parts for the ankle that I'm cutting out right now are all next to one another. There's no chance of you really mixing it up, which is great. Of course, as I said before, these parts are mirrored So, they can fit on either left or right foot. Okay. So how does this thing want to assemble? So just like the high grade, we have this drum-esque ankle. So similar to also the master grade Barbados. Rotate here, we have a peg that's probably going to allow up and down movement. But I do really like the drum ankles just because they let you get a ton of articulation off. I can also already see some areas for ball joints right here. I think that might be for the ankle armor to attach. But we already got two little ankles there. We're already going to assembling. Let's see, which part are you? You. All right, here. Okay. So here are the back of the feet. All red, as I said. Oh, I completely forgot to cut out another part. Some more bits of the frame for these parts to attach to. Do not do that. I almost screwed that up royally, as I usually do. I am hoping that this is in the right direction. Yes, okay, thank goodness these parts are facing the right way. Okay. Need to get these bits on first before I decide to sandwich more parts together. So I need to clean up a little nub I created on accident. There we go. Now this piece should fit very flush. Nice connection. And now we have ourselves a basic bit of ankle. I don't know if I want to try to just build most of the frame, but actually I probably won't. I haven't done a bottom to top build in a while, like bottom up build. I'm gonna preemptively cut out this piece right here to finish off one of our runners. Because this is, I know for a fact, a toe. Okay, so this part was difficult to cut off. So that's one runner done. I will have to do some cleaning on my own for this bit because the gate was in a really bad position. I might actually have to bust out the razor blade. Maybe. Nope. Never mind. I do not need a razor for that. Okay, we got more parts here for the foot. We still need to keep this around for the red accents on the waist and the head. But aside from that, let us finish off this foot. Oh wait, nope. I forgot to add a couple more parts. I cut out the wrong parts here. I need something from the sea runners here. Mainly some white accents instead of the red ones. They look kind of similar, so I got them mixed up. Alrighty, so there we got two more white accenting parts. They just, oh, they should just kind of slide over. Unless I have it backwards. I did have it backwards, I think. There should be some slots in here for these to slide into, yeah. And they should just kind of click on. Oh, whoops. Might be straining some parts here. Alright, nope. Good. So really gotta make sure these are lined up. And they should, yes, pretty smoothly slide on. Do need to adjust them slightly before fully pressing them in. But they go in pretty well. Nice. So again, really nice color separation there. I do think this kit is missing a couple bits of color separation here and there. But aside from that, should have slightly more details compared to the high grade. Alrighty, so what's next? Alright, we are taking more white parts from the sea runners. So these seem to do with mostly the lower legs, potentially bits of the arms and shoulders. So specifically with the sea runner, you're working with the limbs, it seems. I almost cut in the wrong area there for a second. I almost sliced off a part that I kind of needed. That would have been very bad. Okay. These parts are really nicely molded. I do like that. There is a lot of detail in them. A lot of sharp details, intricate corners. A ton of parts to panel line, which I probably will do. Okay. Ooh, that's a neat little toe bend mechanic that we got going on in here. In the toe. So these two parts allow for this tiny little toe bend right there to occur. They just kind of, there's like a little C-clip-esque thing in here and a drum that allows those two to be connected. Now, what's next? We do need some more parts from here. Mainly a foot. The bottom of a foot. Now, actually, the bottom of the feet are really detailed as well, which I do like. I mean, you're not going to see them up too often, but there's a lot of intricate details in there. Yeah, you can see with the light. It's all pre-molded there. I mean, if you're doing any aerial poses with aerial, then you're going to probably see the feet from certain angles. And they are not skimping out. In fact, I kind of want to get the double, not the double Zeta, the Zeta Verca just for the feet alone. Because, well, the Zeta Verca's feet are also pretty detailed as well. Look at that. And because of that, we still have a toe bend. And that bend is probably going to get even better once we get a proper connection going with it. Alright, we're still just missing one more part here. Oh, wait. Oh, no, that I did that wrong. Oh, no. There was supposed to be another thing. I was supposed to connect two parts with this. Part separator, please help me here. Actually, I don't think it can really help. Because these gaps are too small for the part separator to fit into. This is why I brought a razor blade. With a brand new knife blade as well. Luckily, this does fit. I do hope this isn't going to be like the Barbados, where it just snaps on me inside the part. It doesn't seem like it. Okay, it separated the parts enough to where maybe the parts separator might be able to get in. Okay, nah. Might have to use these. Okay, I don't think I damaged the plastic too much. That's good. I do see some marks, but those are going to be hidden. Make sure you look at the instructions, unlike me, before doing all this. Because I got way ahead of myself. It's supposed to sandwich like so. So, this just clamps the foot into place. Ooh, but you get a really nice bend out of that. Look at this. You got the toe bend, and it goes all the way up like so. Sadly, you can't bend the toes downwards, but this is already really nice. Of course, this also rotates as well. So if you want to pose on an uneven surface or something, that's it's possible. Anyways, I need to separate some more parts. So sadly, I cannot stream this because I need a lot of precision, and I can only really get that by getting this close to my face with the knife in order to see. Okay, I think I managed to separate it enough to probably pry it apart with my fingers, if I do it gently. Okay, there we go. Let's not make the same mistake again. Let's actually check the instructions to see if I'm missing anything, before proceeding. Alright, I'm gonna resheath this. Have the feet done. Actually, I lied. We're missing some ankle armor. Gotta make sure I'm cutting out the right part this time because I get ahead of myself way too much. I also completely forgot to turn on BGM. Whoopsies. I had it prepared as well. Okay, so might be a bit low volume. There we go, that might be a bit better. So, we got bits of the ankle armor here. Oh, drop that for a second. This just kind of slides in this ball joint, because it's on a ball joint, It can move freely. A lot of articulation there due to the ball joint. I just usually like having that just rest on the foot and just naturally turn wherever the foot goes, Same on the other side. This just kind of plugs in. There you go. Alrighty, next up, we're going with the lower legs. Now it seems like they do try to separate things here. There is also undergating, which is nice. But I'm going to completely ignore their separation and work on both parts at the exact same time. Because, well, it's all just mirrored. Like, I really feel like they could have just done the same thing as the foot here, to an extent. And had the exact same instructions. Because this is all just a mirror. There we go. That's in place. Now to do it for the other side. Like, this isn't something like a Gundam Astaroth where it's like asymmetrical. I feel like they really could have just merged these steps so that well, it's the same, because it kind of is the same, but they're doing right or left foot. I feel like if you don't want to get the second leg syndrome, then I would recommend something like the Deep Striker. I kind of want to get my hands on my own Deep Striker, to be honest. Deep Striker sounds really nice. Okay, so we do actually get our first bit of permit placed. Actually, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. I still need to cut out a couple more parts because I almost missed those instructions. Whoops. Gotta be careful here because some of these parts are not gates. Like, I'm surprised I haven't accidentally cut off a part that I wasn't supposed to cut off already, like throughout all these build streams I've done. I feel like I would have done that by now, knowing me and like how many times I've screwed up. But no, apparently not. Like, the only times I've had parts fall apart on me is because, well, I probably put too much stress on them, or I put them in the wrong way. I don't think I've ever accidentally sliced off extra nubbing, or an extra peg that is required. I feel like I'm gonna jinx myself because I just said that, you know? So I really probably shouldn't have said that. How the hell is this supposed to fit? Oh, it isn't supposed to go in like that. Okay, it's supposed to go in like this somehow. Oh, what? Okay, no, I just have the wrong orientation. This thing is really awkward. Okay, let me just start with the right foot first. Why is there a peg down there? Did they try to make this multi-purpose? Yeah, I think they did. But that's how it's supposed to face. Okay, so it's supposed to look like this. So that means the other side is going to be the other way around. So we got two mirroring parts like so. God, I never would have thought they'd connect like that. And now we got some permit to cut out. I do like some of Bandai's pre-painted parts, like pre-painted colored parts. I don't really like some of their pre-molded colored parts. Specifically the gold. Their gold really needs some work. It's not very good. Speaking of which, when I do get to building the Hainu, like soon enough, and by soon I mean probably in like a month or a couple weeks, I plan on painting over all their gold. This isn't even facing in the right direction. Yes, it is. Thank goodness. So it's supposed to go in like so, and this just should plug in like so. Okay, that's nice. So just quickly get this into here. It does click in really nicely. It's like a hard click, but it eventually gets in. Okay, this part in the back doesn't move. I don't want to put too much stress on it yet because I don't really have... Hold up, is this even in the right direction? Oh no, I have these parts upside down. No wonder, okay, no, this is upside down. No wonder it's so hard to click this in. It was just pushing on this part. Probably widening the hole slightly. That's not good. Well, it's in now. Okay, what's next? We do actually have to get some clear parts onto here. Are you part number 2 or number 1? Part number 2 for the right foot and number 1 for the left. Okay. These are very difficult to see due to my mat and my insufficient lighting. Like, they kind of blend into my mat at certain angles here, you know? Okay, so we do have some undergating actually over here in the next parts. So these parts we are going to need to clean up a bit. But these are the thighs. Still need to slice out the thighs for the left, but I do like that it is partially undergated here. Small amount of undergating you need to clean up before the parts really let you slide everything together. Oh. Okay, so everything should be sorted. I still need to cut out the other thigh. And then clean it up. But that should be quick work. I believe I got this kit in the US for around 54 USD at Anime Expo specifically. I did see it several booths and shops for more, but after searching around, this was like probably the best price I can find, at least import wise. So yeah, that's that. You could definitely get one that is more expensive. Like, I initially thought the full mechanics line was a figure line because honestly I haven't really been hearing much about it. Oh no, I got that mixed up with Figure Eyes and Full Metal Nation builds. At least when I initially thought of full mechanics. Oh, this lines up with a ton of holes in here. This is gonna hold in really securely. And then this should just slide over on top. Honestly, looking at the permit score, I think I prefer the high-grade permit stickers. Like the look of that. Like that is a bit more dynamic and color separated because unlike the permit score just being a monocolor red, the stickers do have some yellow in there to break it up a bit, which I do kind of like. And they're also, they have a different texture and are a bit shiny. But that's mostly seen in the chest. I wish it was used more around the body as well, because those stickers are really nice. There's still something we could probably fit onto the back here, seeing how that's still open. But that is our thigh done. Oh, speak of the devil, I'm about to work on that next. I feel like if you had like 2 people working on this kit at the same time, that'd be a really nice pastime. Just due to everything being symmetrical. It could definitely be a really nice and relaxing moment, honestly. You would like just have the more experienced person work on like the left leg, and someone who's new to the hobby work on like the right, as you're just following the instructions for the right leg, and that is a really nice pastime now that I think about it. I kind of want to do that now. But, well, I don't really have many friends I can invite over due to them being busy right now. Or just not really into the hobby. Or just not having the time. But, you know, that's an idea. I do wish I could do that now. Okay. Let's get a couple more parts here laid out. Because the nice thing about this kit is that both the left and right leg are, for the most part, runner separated. So you don't need to worry about you don't really need to worry about having to share a runner. You can both, like, if you just want to work with this on this kit with someone else, like, I think after the feet, actually no, even the feet can they all have their own separated runners, which is really nice for just working in tandem with someone else. Why do I lay out the parts like that? I don't know. Except for, you know, a couple parts on this runner and the B runner over here. Everything else, well, at least limb-wise, seems to be runner separated. So that's really nice. I do like that. Okay, we do have some nice yellow color separation over here. We're actually adding our first bit of yellow to the kit. Gotta be careful not to accidentally slice off any extra nubs, because there's a very shallow one here. The neat thing about this yellow is I think it also moves. Okay, I'm gonna set this down. So there is a set order to do this in. Gotta keep that in mind. First, you gotta get this on here. Then you gotta get this yellow piece into a hole. Which hole is it though? Is you? No, it's up here. Okay, so there's a tiny little hole. There's like 3 holes next to one another. Seems like the topmost one is the one that you need to somehow get it into. It's actually kind of difficult because it doesn't want to stay in there. You kind of need to do a balancing act. Okay, barely hanging in there. Then we should be able to seal up everything. With this. Hopefully. Oh, is this not all the way in enough? Okay, nope. Separate the parts there. I need to get this in deeper. This needs to be all the way through. The parts kind of need to be rubbing against one another. Otherwise, it's not going to fit. Alright, there we go. Everything's in. This should sandwich together nicely. Yes! Okay, so this yellow, surprisingly enough, is going to be free floating in the back of the leg. It does click in. There's like a C-clip-esque connection here that we're probably going to be sealing up soon. Knee bend is kind of restricted by the yellow part. The yellow part does move in and out, if you can see that, based on the knee bend, which is pretty neat. We do have a C-clip there. It's probably going to be sealed up a bit more once we get the more joints in. Ooh, the second bend is really stiff in comparison to the first bend. That needs a bit of time to loosen up a bit. Anyways, time to replicate that over here on the left leg. So that is pressed in nicely. And then this should be able to seal it up. Again, really stiff bend there. This should just kinda click into place. Yep. Satisfying click. It did split the plastic a bit, but I am able to just press it back together. Oh, why is it splitting there? There we go. Now it's in. No, it's not. It does seem to want to pop out if I do bend it a bit too much. But as long as I am a bit easy on that bend, it should be fine. Straighten out the leg a bit. There we go. Okay. Okay, here's going to be an annoying next process. Oh, the next. What am I saying? The next process is going to be annoying because there is going to be some free floating parts. It seems until they are all locked in. Once you get some couple parts cut out, because it does tell you to hold in certain areas. It seems. Otherwise, the parts will fall apart. So that's going to be annoying. Oh, that dropped. We do have probably some blue and yellow, I think. No, it's just all yellow. Never mind, I lied. No blue yet. Blue is just for shields and the upper body. It's all white, yellow, and a bit of red for the legs and feet. Okay. Firstly, I will pre-orientate these and place them in order like so, to make it a bit easier to work with. So I don't accidentally mix up parts mainly, honestly. See down here. Then we just got a couple more snips. Okay, so let's begin. So first off, working at the front of the leg. So there's no peg, there is this tiny slit here that this piece of armor slides into, I believe. Yep. We're going to start off with both of those. Then, as for these two parts, here's where it gets annoying. This part needs to go through here, but this part over here has nothing to hold it down. And this part needs to just firmly press into here as far as it's able to go. Otherwise, well, it won't work. And this part is just kind of left free floating until some more armor is placed in. Luckily, it is kind of locked in via this yellow piece that we just placed, but it's going to still be moving up and down a lot. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's still annoying to deal with. Because that piece is going to be free-floating until we can get the parts to lock it in. And even then, getting those parts to fit on a free-moving part is also annoying. Anyways, we got that done. Next up, we're actually going to start sealing that piece into place. With some more armor. Yeah, as you can see, a ton of this thing's structure is just a mix of internal frame and more armor. So sadly, we cannot master grade this and just build only the internals. I mean, it is pretty neat how they do manage to mix the two in with one another to form a pretty stable structure, all things considered. Like, it's still pretty complex, but I'm still a bit disappointed that we don't get a full inner frame. I guess that is the full mechanics line. Still has more detail than the RE100 line. Like, the RE100 line, you're going to need to put in a lot of work, in my opinion, to make those look incredibly accurate. Like, anime accurate. Okay, so how do you fit in? These are supposed to fit somehow. So down here. I don't think so. No, I got these upside down. Okay, so these are supposed to go in here? Somehow? Oh, wait a second. Oh no, I put them in the wrong area. Okay, so these are supposed to actually go up here and cover up even more of this armor, this exposed frame as well. I think there is a tiny, tiny hole here for the yellow moving bit right here to fit in. Alright, there we go. Actually managed to get it in first try. That took a while for me to figure out. I don't know why. But it does cover up a lot more frame. It does limit the movement of the knee bend a bit as well, even more. That's where the armor separation gimmick is. Now you can see that yellow bit moving in and out. Same with the back. The yellow still moves. I am really still very much impressed by these little mechanics here and there. Like, here's the comparison of what it covers up as well. Like, mainly some pegs, a lot of just internal, like, a lot of structural parts to hold the parts in. I mean, it still leaves some fake frame exposed. That's what I'm gonna call it, just like a fake frame. Because it isn't like a fully fledged internal frame, but, you know, it's still a frame nonetheless. But it still requires the help of some of the armor in order to hold itself together. So, fake frame. Or rather, just structural frame, I could say. So it still requires some of the structural frame in order to, well, it reveals some of the structural frame, but the structural frame requires armor in order to hold itself up. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. The same deal over here. Hopefully this goes in. Alright. Luckily enough, they made this hole loose fitting rather than tight fitting. Like there, if you can see here, the hole is not necessarily a circular peg. It's more of an, it's not a circular hole. It's more of like an oval shape, which allows the yellow part to move in fairly freely, and the parts that do technically conform to its shape aren't tight fitting. Like the sides don't clamp onto it too tightly in order to prevent it from moving, so it's still able to somewhat freely move. There we go. The upper legs are done. We just need to throw on a bit more armor here. That took way too long to do. But we still have a lot more to do, mainly the lower legs. Okay, so I need to throw on a new BGM soon, because this one's almost out. Oh, it is out. Okay. Next up, I can find these parts. Okay, no, they're right there. I'm just blind. We're almost completely done with like half the runner. Once I get these parts out, we're basically done with half the runner. That right there is a joint connection for the leg, mainly the feet. Here's some extra frame, some structural frame that is actually going to show through. Okay. As you can see, these things have a ton of pegs to connect things to them. This is not like the Gundam frame of the Master Grade Barbados, if you couldn't tell. Like, the Gundam frame of the Barbados was something else entirely. Even amongst the inner frames for Master Grades, that thing stands in its own league, in my opinion. Okay, so after carefully cutting out that structural frame, let's get to cutting out some more exterior armor to hold up all that structure. I need to clear up some undergating before we can really use this. There's like 3 undergates on here, like 3 nubs of undergating. Hopefully that's clean enough. I mean, it's all going to be hidden anyway, so I just need it to be clean enough to fit properly. Okay, there we go. Now to get it out for the other leg. Wait, did I miss any on here? I hope I didn't. Yeah, no, I didn't. Thank goodness. Oh. Broke a bit of the gate. That's an empty gate, so don't need to worry about that. Okay. Got 2 more leg parts here. I need to still clean up undergating on these, for sure. If I can find them. Because they do blend into the white pretty well. Need to hold them at awkward angles on it sometimes just to see the gates. Okay. The nice thing about cutting off undergating is that they usually tend to stick to my knickers for some reason. So it's really easy to clean them off afterwards. They don't go everywhere. Okay, well, let's get to assembling. So assembly for this should be pretty simple. This just all the pegs should just line up with all the structure parts. Oh, this is facing the right direction. No, I almost placed it in upside down again. Okay, there we go. Now it's in the right way. I hope this is also facing the right way. Ooh, it wasn't. Okay, there's a slight difference in it's backwards and forward facing. Gotta double check now to make sure that I get this in before I close everything up. Okay, this is gonna have to go in an awkward angle because this does technically sit in here and lock into this. So, gotta do it at a bent angle first. Otherwise, it doesn't fit. Then this should just seal everything up. It should just fit right on there, if it wants to fit. I am really hoping that this wants to fit. I might have to part separate this to try and come in at a straighter angle. Like so. There we go. Okay. And this goes in the exact same way on this other leg. There's like very little difference between these two. Which is, again, why I don't understand why they don't just have you build both at the same time. Just like that, most leg is done. All we have left to do is to slap on some extra armor, then we connect the foot, and we're done with the legs. We do have some more undergating here for this extra bit of armor here. I haven't cut them off yet. I will be going back to cut off any undergating once I finish snipping out these bits. I'm placing them on the correct side of each leg, because apparently they do go on certain sides. Honestly, I don't think it matters too much. Okay, time to cut off any undergating this thing has, which is a lot. Always gotta be wary of undergating whenever it comes to a kit that does include it, because more often than not, you're gonna miss it. Like I have many times. Like, if a part is not fitting properly, even though you've checked everything else, check for undergating. That's usually going to be why a part isn't fitting. At least if you haven't put in the part upside down. Like I usually do. I don't know how I'd managed to do that consistently each and every build. Actually, no. Have I done it with the Zor? Maybe. I don't know if I did it with the Astaroth. I probably have. What about the entry grade new? Probably. I think it's harder to find a stream where I haven't screwed up at least once during a build than it is to find one that I've done perfectly. Like off stream, I've managed to do builds where I haven't screwed up anything. Mainly, I think when I built the sand... Actually, no, I did accidentally cut off more than I expected when it comes to snipping out some parts for the sand rock. The high-grade sand rock. That one I did off stream. That was a very old kit before I decided to start streaming my builds. Let's see. I think that's all the undergating taken care of. This is supposed to fit in a certain way at a certain angle, just because these things do have some gaps for the tubing back here and a bit of the armor on the knee, which is why they are separated. They are separated differently. You can't just have them accidentally switch the two. Aside from that, I think we just have a bit of armor and then we are done with this. Alright. There is, again, more undergating on here. But that should be taken care of pretty easily. Okay. I swear, each time I make a mistake, it's always because I try to get ahead of myself. I probably should stop doing that. But I think I'm already getting ahead of myself normally just by trying to build two parts at the same time. Just because they're identical. Alright, time to take care of the undergating again. Luckily for these parts, there isn't too much undergating. Mainly, like, at most, like, 3 nubs for now. But that's only for now. Who knows if they decide to have more on other parts. I think out of all the kits I own, probably my favorite one that I have built both on and off stream is still going to be the real grade tall geese. Out of the real grades I have built, mainly it's... Actually, I haven't built the crossbone yet. I might like that one. But I mainly built it and the Banshee on stream. I didn't really like the Banshee because the Banshee, well, it does look really good. Like, it's probably one of the best looking Banshees there is. Aside from potentially the perfect grade and the... Well, I don't have the Verka, so I can't really comment about that. And I don't have the perfect grade either, but I have seen a lot of renditions of it. And to be honest, actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I've actually seen the Verka. I mean, like, not built. I have... My hobby shop, my local hobby shop does have the Verka, but... Ooh. Okay, we do have a lot of armor separation on that knee bend. I do like that. Anyways, my local hobby shop does have the Verka, but I don't have... I do not actually have it because, well, it's a master grade and it's a bit pricey. Honestly, if I were to get a master grade, it would, looking at them all, I would probably go for a Zeta or double Zeta because I do love their designs. If not an F91 Verka. I haven't heard too many good things about the Victory Gundam. Well, the Victory 2, mainly because that one is a bit annoying and complex due to it probably having that separating and transformation feature, which the high grade just completely ignores by giving you a separate Victory 2 core fighter, which makes it a lot more stable. But I haven't heard good things about the master grade, which is why I'll stick with my high grade Victory 2. I haven't heard much about the master grade crossbone either, but I've heard good things about the real grade crossbone, so I can't wait to build mine. I mean, I don't have the real grade X1 necessarily. I have the clear color variant. I do want to get myself the regular variant of the X1. Anyways, that is the legs done. Next up, we are going with the waist unit. Oh, I just realized it does tell you which runners you'll need as well. It does separate each step by runners to an extent. That's actually pretty nice. Anyways, where was I? I'm tempted to get another tall geese, real grade tall geese, just because, well, my local hobby shop has it for relatively cheap. It's like 32 USD. I kind of want to do a custom with it. That sounds fun. Because again, I do really love the tall geese. It is probably one of my favorite suits in, well, in general. I don't know why. Like, it's hard for me to say why I like it so much. But I just vibe with the suit, you know? Bit of undergating I need to clean up before I can get to here. Also, I hope this is in the right direction. This is facing in the right direction. Yes, it is. Okay, so we do have a bit of a moving segment for the crotch armor. Hopefully we're going to have some more parts to keep these in place. Okay. But I'm very tempted to make myself a custom tall geese. Because I really like the idea of that. I will probably have to get more paint, like, more markers and paints. Plus, I'd probably have to, well, I still need to think of what color I'd want to paint the tall geese. If I had the money, I would probably do a custom dual Dober gun tall geese as well. And since I, have two tall geeses, I'd probably have one that's like purely melee config with beam saber. Like, well, if I had a hand drill, I could probably do a double-bladed beam saber. Now that I think about it, like a double-bladed beam saber setup, so then beam sabers would be poking out underneath the shield, like the actual beams for beam sabers. I can see myself building something like that. I've also been thinking of a sextuple winged tall geese flugel, like master grade. Because I'm pretty sure the tall geese flugel does use the same connections as the verniers on the regular master grade tall geese. So, I mean, you can still fully build the verniers if you get yourself a tall geese flugel. However, the shoulders, where the verniers usually attach, are now free to attach the same connection points again. So if I were to get like two tall geese flugels, theoretically I can give it two gigantic wing binders and one set of rear wings. Regular thrusters on its back. Because it doesn't use the shoulder points. So I was thinking of making a build like that for a while, and have it look very similar to like the Kshatriya. Okay, this should just connect here, right? Oh, there's another piece I'm missing. What is that? Oh, that is a separate piece. I probably shouldn't get ahead of myself. Did I fully clean this up? Not necessarily. Like, I'm really tempted to build one of those, except I'd have to get my hands on two tall geese flugels. And I just don't have the money for that. I do like the side skirts on this, but well, there's not much articulation and they're pretty small. And that means that it's very difficult for them to fall out based on how they're attached. That's good. I've had very bad experiences with Master Grade side skirts. Oh, except for the Barbados. Barbados side skirts are alright, but any large side skirts, or even front skirts, will be falling off a lot in my hands. Due to my own experience with the Master Grade Epion. But, well, that kit also has a ton of other flaws, in my opinion, mainly with just how some of its armor holds on, and honestly, the waist joints are a bit iffy, in my opinion, specifically with all the skirting armor in general. Yeah, the Epion could really use some work. But I am a bit lazy to fix that now, so let's see. Let's get everything in first for this kit. Oh, I want to get my hands on a real great Epion as well, really bad. Like, when it comes out, I plan on buying it. As soon as the hobby shop near me has it in stock. It should just sandwich together. Yep, nice part sandwich. Side skirts move up and down as, you know, side skirts would. This one seems to be in a bit better than this one on the left. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. We're still missing a back skirt. We are getting in some extra colors here. Mainly some extra red. We're still going to need to keep that thing around for the head. Should be some pegs somewhere in here. We do need to move the skirts down a bit in order to gain access to them. This should be moved out, I believe, a bit. I'm making sure everything is lined up here before pressing it all down. Oh, this side wasn't lined up properly. Yeah, that's why. Alright, part separator. Please work. Okay, so this red part also seems to seal in the side skirts so that they don't move anymore. That's good. Oh, okay, there we go. Popped out nice and easy. It didn't, well, it didn't fight back too much. I mean, it still fought back a bit, but... There we go. It's in. And all these parts work together in order to hold everything in place. Of course, I could just plastic cement this all together as well, but I don't feel like doing that. Hopefully I didn't miss any like undergating or anything like that that's gonna separate these parts, you know? 'Cause that'd be really bad. That'd be rather unfortunate. Okay. Finally, the last bit of structure and a couple more parts before we finally finish up the skirts. Okay. What do we got? Okay, we got a part with like 4 undergates here that we need to use. That's going to be annoying, to say the least. I feel like I'm working pretty fast so far, all things considered, especially like considering the size of this thing. Yeah, that's going to be for the front, by the way. Actually, if I can find these... Okay, found the balls, like the front skirts. There's like no color separation underneath, which is why I say this is nothing like a master grade. But there's still color separation for this thing. And the balls, the front skirts are properly separated. Like, they can move independently from one another, unlike, I think, the high grade, which does have them connected. So you will have to make some modifications to the high grade if you wanted independently moving skirts. I'm hoping to finish this up in one stream, honestly. And at the pace we're moving at, it should be possible. Hold up. No, I don't think I put this in backwards. Oh, I am completely missing some parts here. I completely skimmed over a step. That step is mainly, well, some crotch armor. That's why there are some extra pegs. So this extra bit of armor right here is where an action base would usually attach to. This piece right here can fit in just about any direction. Whereas this piece, let me clear out some undergate first. This piece right here, once this is connected, is where a 3mm peg is for an action base. And this just moves in to cover it up. There are some tabs on the side in order to help hold this off, I believe. You will need a bit of some fingernails to do that, but you know, that pulls off. Otherwise, it creates a flush point there. It's like a flush fit, except for the tabs. So this next part should just fit right on the back, like so. And I've already cleared up all the undergates on here. This should just slide right on. And this point should remain open for its bit on form, that's right. I lost track of my words for a second. This thing, it does have proper front skirts, but nothing close to a back skirt until you get the bit on form done. Okay, there we go. We got the skirts down. These things shouldn't get into the way of too many poses since they're so small. And now, oh yeah, there is a bit right here. You can see there's a bit of a leg swing that you can do with this as well. But these should just slide on. You can swing the legs forward and back. The joints are a bit stiff, but they still work pretty well. You can see the armor separation there on the knee. And of course, this can just completely bend forward like so. Like if you just want some crazy ass poses there. You know, underneath the surface, there's nothing really much else. I mean, there isn't too many hollow parts in here. Mainly because it uses a ton of internal structures to hold everything up. Doesn't have like a proper inner frame, but like you can pose the feet really well due to the drum. I mean, the ankle armor does limit the articulation, like the rotation of the foot a bit, but all things considered, this is really good. Like this right here, its feet are planted in the ground, at least toe-wise. You can get some really good bends off of that. That's nice. I do like the articulation of it so far. Actually, out of all the kits I have, I think the ones that articulate the best are probably either the high grades or specifically the real grade tall geese. I have it, like, I feel like you can just be a bit rougher with them and not have to worry too much. Whereas with my master grades, I've had some issues posing them sometimes just due to how many moving parts some of them have. Like, it is a lot simpler to pose a master grade than it is to pose a not a master grade. Pose a high grade than it is to pose a master grade. But I feel like with the real grades, except for the unicorns, those things joints are so stiff. Especially like the arms. The arms are so annoying to pose. But aside from that, the unicorns are pretty nice to look at. Not to pose. The tall geese is really easy to pose. I do like that a lot. Like, it's still, like, its joints aren't too stiff. They're able to hold their shape, and they have enough support to hold the main weapon, along with effect parts that I've gray tacked on. I've used hobby tack in order to apply some effect parts onto the tall geese, and it's still holding up really well. I like that thing a lot. Like, again, tall geese is like, still one of my favorite kits. To the point where I am very tempted to get another one. Oh yeah, if you didn't want to use the 3mm action base, I believe this also works. This should be an action base adapter for a proper action base. Like if you don't want to use like a Figma stand or something like that, you know? This should, I believe, clip onto the bottom. Let me give this a shot. So I think you do have to remove... Okay, so this, you do have to remove the cover for the action base adapter, but it should just be able to clip right on and attach directly to an action base without the need of a 3mm peg adapter. So yeah, that's nice if you don't want to use stands to help support it normally. Let's see. Oh, where's that part? Here it is. So, we're immediately getting a part to attach this to that ball joint, this hole right here. This would just be a ball joint that connects directly to from the hip to the torsos. Hips to waist and torsos, I should say. I do think I need to run some of my red metallic markers into some of these areas, because it is missing some details. This should sit flush. This moves up and down, allowing for, I think, an ab crunch. And a ball joint allows it to move back and forth. That's nice. Okay. So we do have 2 pegs in here, which should let this slide in and connect, holding tightly and securely. Does sit flush, it seems, to an extent. That is the lower abdomen done. Let's see. Let me reorganize a bit here. Everything's a bit messy. I can see V-fins and a bit of the cheeks. But I'm not looking for that. Okay. I'm looking at the wrong instructions. I was looking at the arms for a second. I believe this kit does come with like 3 sets of hands that you can swap between. By hands, I mean fingers. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong parts. I think this is a neck connection or something similar to that. I was trying to connect that part there for a while. Don't know why I did that. Okay, yeah, no, this seems to be a neck. Bit of armor for the neck there. Let's see. This should just slide on, I believe. Come on. Alright, let's... There we go. So this should be a neck joint. So you do have a forward and backward movement facilitated by the C-clip joint that's probably going to be attached there, and a bit of a ball joint for more articulation. So you can look up and down really well with this. Okay, now to actually get... Where's... Oh. There's my nippers. Now, this plastic is not brittle at all, but it's so nice to cut. Like, it's really smooth. This should just socket itself in. Here is the little C-clip-esque joint. I feel like I need to dot the inside of these with a bit of metallic red. But aside from that, I think the color separation there is better on the high grade. Well, I do like the knee bend a lot more than the high grade. And the toe bend. See, so we're going to be making 2 joints here, probably for the arms to connect to. We're actually using our first bit of blue in this kit. See, these should connect to some joints on this other D runner. If I can find them, because they're kind of elusive sometimes. Okay. Let's see. Shift everything up here, because I will need a lot of workspace for these next couple steps. Just to lay out parts mainly. Well, not too much workspace, I don't think. But still, workspace nonetheless. Okay. Let's get to assembling. Hopefully I put this in the right way. Because otherwise, I'm screwed. I don't think I can remove these. I can separate these two easily due to the way they've attached. But then, nope, looks fine. Okay, so that attaches. And I guess these go in here somehow. Like so? Okay, just kind of snaps into place. I do hope that this is facing the right direction. Okay, so... with that, these should be able to click into place once we get a couple more parts in. And with all these parts, it should allow for a fairly wide range of articulation just for the arms alone, which I do like. Like, one thing I do notice about this kit is that it has a ton of articulation. So that is really nice. I've been reaching for the wrong part. Where is that other part? I think we're starting to get working on the back right now. Here's the back. Should sandwich the parts together pretty easily. Let's see here. This should just fit on right here. Same with this. So these just kind of slide on, I believe, and then should be able to slide these on. Okay, these really need to be fit on tightly. I'm gonna remove these first and slide these on, because I feel like that's easier. I mean, it's still not an easy task, it's just easier than trying to put it on while it's connected. But it should allow the arms to move back and forth a lot more. Hopefully these don't pop out, like, in the middle of the, trying to pose them. So I can see that being an issue if they're not fully secured. Okay, let's see here. Hopefully these stay and allow these to move, because currently they are very stiff. Oh boy, they're popping out a lot. I hope that there's something to keep them in. Okay, so let's get the front on this thing. This should just slide in, like so. Hold up. So it says here in the booklet that I should hear a click when I push these in. I'm not hearing any of that. I'm not feeling any either. I just hope that these don't pop out. Looks like there is a small piece here just trying to push them in and keep them in place, but don't know if I trust it or not. I kind of have to at this point. I'm already this deep in. Okay, a bit of yellow here on the torso. You fold the arms back into place. The arms can kind of wiggle out to allow for a more forward bend, I believe. Like the arm joints. But I think I prefer the way they did it on the narrative Gundam than they did on this. Because I really don't like these joints. They are so stiff. They do not want to rotate at all. It's taking me a lot of effort just to get these in semi-flush. Or at least even a resemblance of being flush at all. Alrighty. Let's cap it off with a bit of blue. Let's see. Actually, gotta make sure everything's lined up. Kind of forcing the arms out of the way. Or at least the joints of the arms out of the way, because they are in the way right now. Quite a lot. If I'd had some soap or something, I'd probably hit it up with that in order to loosen up the joints a bit. Like, that's my issue so far with this kit. All these joints are so stiff. And same with some of these connections. They are very difficult to get in. I do not know why. Like, I'm kind of moving all the arms out of the way and all that. But even then, this doesn't want to fit for some reason. Some reason or another. Okay, there we go. It just kind of clicks in, I guess. Alright, and then the arms can just, I guess, stiffly move back into place. Requires a lot of effort. Because you don't want to break anything, but it's probably also putting a ton of stress on the parts due to how stiff they are. Okay, here we go. Permit score time. We're almost done with all the permit scores. There is a bit of undergating here, it seems. Okay, there we go. Where are you? Where's that one piece I am missing? Oh, it's a clear piece. Okay. Let's get to work assembling. I think I'm going to start by attaching this blue part onto the clear part first. And then this part should be able to fit in nicely over here. Hopefully. Bit of a struggle, but not too bad. And then this should be able to help push everything in once it's all assembled. There we go. Permit score is in. I think that's most of the torso done. We're just missing a couple things. Then we gotta build the backpack, which we also built with the torso instructions, I guess. Usually you build the backpack separately, if I remember correctly. Alrighty. Get to work here. Should be a bit of white and I'm missing here as well. I think I did forget to cut out that. Okay, there you are. Okay, so this somehow attaches here. I think there's a little tab right here that hooks up. I'm hoping that this also isn't placed in upside down. Did I place it upside down? I think I did place it upside down. Yeah, this tab is really annoying to figure out how to place it in. I do like all the layering parts on this kit. That is very nice. Let's see, how to get this in. Okay, like so. Well, this is an awkward piece to fit. I need to figure out this piece if I want to get the other side in. Okay, I think I got it. Still awkward, but not the worst. At least not yet. Okay, there we go. That fit in a lot better than I expected. And just like that, we have created a ton of depth and a ton of shading with just a couple of parts there. Got some shadows here and there. That is the torso done. We're going to get this right on here. Also, I believe the proportions for the full mechanics aerial is slightly different compared to the high grade one. Like, she seems thinner compared to her high grade variant. Especially that upper torso. Like, this seems a lot more slender than the high grade one. Like, the high grade one would bulge out, like, maybe up to here. But this is definitely thinner in profile. So I guess that's that. Let's see. Next up, we got the backpack. Let's get to work on that. I feel like the backpack does have a weird attachment point for the aerial. But, it's not too weird, I guess. Well, all things considered. Like, as you can see from the back, there's not really a dedicated point as it, like, in a high grade, except for these down here. It's attached much lower than I expected. The high grade, it was attached up here, almost at the shoulder blades, but for here, it's, like, near the lower torso. Almost at the waist. Let's see here. Beam sabers for this are also pretty large. I'm looking at the wrong runner. What am I doing? Here we go. We do have some more permit on the back as well, and I think a bit on the face. That should be... No, the arms as well. There's some permit scores on the arms. I forgot. Then, of course, in the head. What part was I cutting again? I completely forgot. Shift everything to the side here. See, so these tabs here should be for attaching the beam sabers, if I'm not mistaken. They are held on via C-clip. So that means they don't get like side-to-side articulation, but they can move, well, forward and back. Let's get some of this yellow on here, if possible. Actually, what is the orientation on that? Did I get that upside down? I did. Whoops. Should be like this. I didn't miss a hole again. Nope. Okay, good. Got it in. So we should have another clear part here as well. On the last few clear parts left. Again, we also have another permit score on the backpack. Like, usually I don't really notice this permit score on the back, but it's there. Gotta pay attention to those details, I guess. I'm going to attach the glass on the permit first. Then I shall attach the permit to the back. I believe like so. It's kind of free floating there for now. Alright, let's get some covering for that. Now this peg right here is for the bit-on form. But now it's gonna be barren. However, we can also, and should also, fit on the beam sabers. For the backpack. So of course the kit comes with 2 beam sabers. And of course the beam effect parts are up there if you decide to use them. Those beam effect parts I don't think work with any other beam sabers. I could be mistaken though. Does just kind of plug in and conform to the back of the aerial, so it is not compatible with other backpacks. Beam sabers can swing forward and over the shoulders for, well, just for grabbing. But for the most part, I believe they do just stay on the back. Usually not swung all the way back like that. Usually they are swung upwards like so. And angled towards the back slightly, like that. But that's the backpack. Now for the arms. Okay, so for the most part, the arms are identical. The only difference is that you assemble the right and left slightly differently near the end. I wish they did the same with the legs. Because, well, I mean, I guess it's just due to how the thighs differ slightly. But I still feel like they could have done something very similar with the legs, you know? Anyways, onto the arms. I see a thumb here as well. I see all the hands on this other runner as well. Yeah, 3 sets of hands. Anyways, I should probably stop zoning out and actually get to cutting parts. So the arms, for the most part, are assembled identically. They actually do have instructions for how to assemble these. And they force you to build both at the same time. Hey. Again, this should be assembled same no matter what. Keep that in mind. Alrighty. So, let's get to actually assembling this damn thing. I think these are the shoulder joints here I'm putting together right now, off camera. Throwing it together is pretty simple. Pretty sure this directly connects to the arm. These extend off the arm. These C-clips up here are similar to what we see on the Gundam frames of the Barbados. So that should be where the shoulder armor should just clip onto. Meaning that it does articulate separately from the arms for the most part. Okay, now to get all this armor on it. I do want to build my own customs in the future, like a lot more of them. Probably the closest thing to a custom I have is my Zawart Heavy, which I completely decked out, including an entire paint job and a ton of extra parts from 30-minute missions. I hope there isn't too many undergates here to work with, because that could definitely get annoying. Okay, for now there's only one set of undergates per part so far. Okay. Here is the second set. Alrighty, so let's get right into assembling here. I have no idea how these parts want to fit. Okay, now I was looking at the wrong area. this should fit into this tiny peg down here. And this should just sandwich on top, I believe. Right, that's pretty easy to figure out. I see a little C-clip joint right here. That's probably going to be where this attaches right here, if I'm not mistaken. But we're not done with the shoulder armor yet, so I'm not going to attach that yet. Okay, there we go. It's the left shoulder. Oh, other part of this here. I'm getting a little outline here for where the permit score would be attached. And then just a bit more for the shoulder armor for even more articulation, I think. Like, this shoulder has so many moving parts on it. For just being shoulder armor. I'm surprised. Like, it technically has like multiple points of articulation because of that. So now this should be over here, then this one. It's the one for the right side. I'm just arbitrarily assigning them like certain runners right and left just so that I can keep things consistent here. See, now I guess we just cut out the last of the permit. Almost the last of the permit. There's still technically one more piece for the head. I'm pretty sure the permit is also undergated due to how tiny this is. Yes, it is. I'm hoping that is clean enough. There we go. Now, I still need to get the cover for the permit. Parts are nice and clear. See, so to get this all on, I believe after I finish cutting out everything, it should just be able to slide on. Oh, that's an undergate. How did I miss that? And why do they undergate there of all places? Okay, so anyways, back to this. This should just kind of click directly on top, I believe. Yeah, there's a subtle click there. And those are very subtle click there. Let's see, we're gonna pre-attach this onto the armor. That's a not so subtle click. And then we're going to attach the permit, I guess. I hope this is in the right way. Yes, it is. Thank goodness. Use my fingernails to just push that deeper. I hope that this is facing the right direction. Good, it is. That is the shoulder permits. Here's the shoulder armor. I hope it is also facing in the right direction. Good, it's all right side up. Thank God. Alright, now to do the same over here. Hopefully don't mix everything up. Don't want to force anything either, otherwise it might snap. And at this stage, snapping is really bad. Okay, there we go. Everything slid together neatly. That is your shoulders done. Now to get the forearms done. Well, the upper arms, then forearms, I think. Okay, let's get some of this out of the way. I think this is a 2-point elbow bend, judging from the images. If not, that might be a bit annoying, but I'm hoping that at least the forearms will have rotation. Because forearm rotation is very important in my opinion, especially if you have a shield like Ariel does. It only has one attachment point. That is when forearm rotation is very essential. Like, I really feel like the Methis could also use something similar. I completely forgot to cut out some more parts. Whoops. You know, sometimes it's not bad to look ahead in instructions. I guess. At least not too far ahead. You look too far ahead, you're gonna be like me and, you know, get ahead of yourself. And then you're gonna make some irreparable mistakes. Like I have done many times. Okay, let's see. I still need to clear up some undergates. Because of course I do. They're absolutely everywhere on this kit now that I've gotten past the legs. I think the legs had the most amount of layering though. Which, well, I honestly prefer over the undergating. Because undergating is a pain in the ass to deal with sometimes. I do see a lot of places on this kit to panel line though, which is nice. If you really want to bring out all the extra details. Alright, let's get to work assembling. I need to make sure this is facing in the right direction. Is that thing just being held on via friction for now? Yeah, it is. That is just pure friction. Okay, that managed to connect. This piece should just lock this other piece in place. Alright. That's the upper arm done. I'm gonna preemptively connect these. Because I can. I know it's done. Because I have looked ahead. Now for this other side. I hope I don't have this on backwards. Good, I don't. Alright, now for the lower forearms. We do have a couple parts we need to cut out here. A ton of them with undergating, of course they do. Have all that undergating. I don't think they needed this much undergating for this kit. But they decided to have it anyways. Like, this much undergating is so annoying to deal with. I mean, I do have experience with all this undergating due to, the Banshee. I don't remember if the Tall Geese had too much undergating. It might have had some, but I don't think it had this much. Alright, let's get all these other armor pieces off. Also, all the undergating just seems to be on the armor as well. But I really don't think it's necessary since it's white armor. Like, nub marks don't show up too well on white. And usually people also tend to paint over it anyways if they don't want the white. So, any gates are gonna be hidden anyways, so... Okay, let's see. Just a bit more undergating, then we can finally get started on, well, assembling once we cut out the frame parts. We're almost done with this. Honestly, this might be the one of the faster builds I've done on this channel. You know, aside from, aside from, the entry grade. Because, you know, the entry grade, you don't need to cut out anything. You can just pop out all the parts, which are really satisfying to do. It kind of makes me want to get another entry grade. Honestly, probably the RX-78 too. I do hope they make more entry grades. Because they are really satisfying to build. Entry grade line could also probably bring some more Gundams into the light, you know, to make them a bit, to like, give them a bit more attention. Like, for example, Gundam X, I don't think I've seen too many kits on, well, too many kits from there. But, the main ones I remember are, well, the X Divider, and, Double X. Those are the main ones I do like from that series. Of course, it's also all the main Gundams, so... I don't know if they would even need to also make, like, a Turn A 2.0. I would like to see one of those again. I would really consider buying it if they did make another Turn A. Because I do like the Turn A. Oh no, did I screw up? I screwed up. Oh no. I forgot to slide in a piece. I'm hoping this just fits. Okay, good, it just fits. It barely fits. Okay, I managed to fix my screw up. Okay, this is partially a 2-point bend. We do have a bit of an extra bend right here in the forearm. But most importantly, we also have that rotation, which is very useful. I completely forgot to put in this part again. Whoops. Well, I can just kind of force it in, though, like that. Still fits. Oh, that just flew out of my hand. But, yeah, that should be everything done. Now we just need to make the hands differentiate left and right. So you got the right hand there. It looks like this is the left. Let's see, so we have, as I said before, several sets of fingers. Gotta be careful here not to cut too close to the bottom because there is supposed to be a slight nub on these fingers. I feel like these fingers, surprisingly enough, might be compatible with other master grades. They have a very similar attachment. Mainly looking at the Barbados. These are beam saber holding hands right here, I believe. This is for the left, upon closer inspection. Closed fists. Some more closed fists. Another beam saber holding hand. A left open palm. And sadly, only a singular trigger finger. One for the right side. I wish more kits came with 2 trigger fingers. Similar to the high grade. What was it? The high grade F91. There it is. Don't know why it took me so long to remember that. Anyways, high grade F91. I really like that kit just due to it having that extra finger. It allows it to dual wield its weapons really well. Or, you know, just let you choose between left and right. Like, these fingers here are really reminiscent of Gundam frame fingers. Because the Barbados has pretty much the exact same fingers. Except, you know, slightly different design, but the structure is the same. So you got a thumb, an articulated thumb, and just preset hands. For now, I will be using the closed fists. If I can get them to fit. Of course, we still have, again, the beam saber holding hands and the trigger finger, which we will be using. On the other side, I shall be doing the same. Closed fists. Did I get these mixed up? No, I didn't. Okay, good. Oh, it's just holding them wrong. Thumb just slides in to that little ball joint socket. And then we still need the backs. Here. And here. Alright, how do you fit? Do I get this mixed up again? Oh, there's also undergating. Because of course there's undergating, you know? Ugh. There we go, yeah, I did get the backs mixed up a bit. It seems like I had the right and left one mixed. Sadly, there is only one open palm in here for dynamic pose. And that is only on the left arm. Well, for the left hand. Anyways, this should just kind of screw into place. Bend the elbows a bit for posing. Just your standard standing pose. Wrists kind of curled in slightly. And there you go. Standard standing pose for the aerial. Actually, straighten this out a bit. There we go. It's pretty sizable as well. Like, you know, it's still a 1/100th scale. So you'll keep the hands down here, because we're going to be using those for the weapons later. By weapons, I mean just the beam rifle. I don't plan on removing the beam sabers. Anyways, let's see. Head is up next. That's right. Head is the final part here. So I'm going to preemptively cut out a couple parts that we're going to need. Head Vulcans are not color separated, it seems. So you will probably need to color those like silver. They are attached to that one block right there. The shield is going to be pretty complicated, all things considered, because it does still need to separate, I believe, as well. Of course, I won't be showing off its bid-on form. I've already done that with the high grade. I won't be attaching all the sticker decals because that's going to be a pain in the ass. The shield does come with adapters, it seems, for the bits to be flying around if you have enough stands for them. Anyways, for the shield, I'm probably just going to keep it in its main form. I won't be changing it at all. It'll just be attached to the aerial, just like how I have it on my high grade one. Because I don't think I want to change it too much. Like, the bid-on form is cool and all, but I think well, actually, I might have it posed up in bid-on form. I do like the shield, though. But mainly just to differentiate it from aerial a bit. When are you used? You want the shield? Did I miss something here? I hope I didn't miss anything. Hold up here. Let me flip through this real quick. Okay, good. I think that is actually on the shield. That's good. Yeah, it's extra yellows on the shield. I don't need to ever worry about that. I thought I missed a step because I see some extra yellow that I didn't really notice before. I might actually not assemble the shield and just attach the bits directly to Ariel herself. Because, well, the high-grade shield and the full mechanic shield seems to be exactly the same. Now that I'm looking at it. Oh, hopefully I didn't cut off anything important. Anyways, let's start building. Well, the eyes, pretty easy. You just kind of shove them through. They are color separated eyes, so you can see them there. You don't need stickers for that. We have a bit of yellow accenting on the cheeks. Okay, we're actually starting to use up the red accents here. That's good. Okay. There should be a V-fin and mask somewhere here. Yep, found it. We do have some more color separation as well for the head. Oh, I just lost the mask somewhere. It just popped right off the runner. There it is, found it. Yeah, there it is. So, I do like this head. It is pretty easy to work with, just due to the size of the kit. That is really nice. I'm going to cut out just about every part I can, just to make things easier for myself. Why is there undergating in the face? Oh, God. I think that's a bit much. Especially for the back of the head, where, you know, people aren't really going to see too much. I feel like that is a bit much, you know? Let's see, the final bit of permit as well, I might as well just cut out. We'll figure out how to assemble all this once everything is on my map. Because that's where this will all come together. It is a bit messy though right now. But we will have to organize it a bit. Don't really like how they placed the V-fin on this runner. Do need to do quite a bit of cleaning on it. I don't remember where I put my sandpaper even. Some of that would be nice right now for the V-fin, but for now it's fine. I can always clean it up off stream if I want to. Anyways, on to actually building this damn thing. Okay, so got the cheeks separated. This goes up here. This goes up here. This should go up here. This goes to the head up top. These two I'm gonna need for now. Oh, and I'm forgetting the little clear part for the permit. Okay, final bit for the permit there. Let's get to assembly. So this goes on, I think like so. This should just be the chin. Should just be pushed all the way to the back there. And then the mask should just slide right on top. The mask also separates the eyes further than they already are. Adding a bit of white there to divide them. This all should just plug right into the back of the head, right, like so. Oh, there's undergating. I completely missed that. Again, why is there so much undergating here on the face and the head? Okay, so is there undergating here? Yes, there is. Everywhere I look, there's always undergating. Go. We do have a seam line up top because of this sandwich, so you probably want to clean that up. Oh, okay, so let's get this little piece of permit up here. Then I think we can just cover that right up. Should just... Did I get this in the wrong way? It should just slide in, I think. No, I did have it upside down. Okay, this one fits a lot better. Slides in like that. We do have that clear permit seen in the forehead. Of course, we still need to clean up some more undergating in the back here if we haven't already. Thank goodness I've already have. Now we just throw on the cheeks. Should just easily slide on. V-fin on top to seal off most of this. Oh, there goes that permit again. Permit cover. This thing really doesn't want to stay down. The fingers are attaching to me as well. Okay, so let's see how you want to stay on. I guess I just attach this. Yeah, no, you're supposed to attach the red part into the V-fin first. Lord, I can't see anything. So it's supposed to go in like this first, then this can attach right on top. There we have it, the head of the aerial. As you can see, she does look a lot slimmer compared to the high grade. But we're not done yet. We still have the weapons. And the shield. Let's see here. Okay, the rifle's pretty easy to assemble. Ah, yeah, that's right, I remember now. Part of... What was I gonna say? I think, if I remember correctly, parts of the shield do attach onto the rifle. Which prevents you from attaching this giant-ass beam effect. Like, this thing is long as hell. But that is also optional. You could also leave that off, which I plan on doing. So, I don't plan on fully building the shield. So this adapter here is probably gonna be useless for me. Instead, I just plan on attaching all the parts directly to the aerial. So yeah, there's a shield adapter. The beam sabers, you know, pretty easily. You just pop them off the back and put them in your hands. You have two beam saber holding hands. But the rifle gets a bit interesting. You know, you do have a rifle holding hand. Of course, as I said before, parts of the shield can attach onto this. But I don't plan on doing that. I just plan on forming it. The rifle is really intricately modeled. I do like that. Despite it just being a part sandwich. It does have a little cover for the scope to hide all the internals. Like so. Here you go, Ariel's rifle. Now let's see how to attach everything else. Mainly on the shield. We still have a lot of parts here to throw together. Like a lot of parts. Her shield is one of the more complicated parts, the escutcheon shield. I missed a nub when cutting out. How do I miss that? There we go. So we got these two right here. The shield adapter that we're not going to be using. We'll be setting off to the side. Along with that base adapter. Let's see, I'm trying to sort through all these parts as well, because there are a lot of instructions for the shield. Again, this part right here that I am cutting out, this can fit onto the rifle. So there is another one of these I will be cutting out as well. I believe this should just slide right on. Like so, yeah. And another one will fit underneath. I'm leaving that off. Because I want that giant beam effect part. Like, where else can you find a beam effect part like that? Okay. I plan on just cutting out everything at this point on the runners. Nothing shall be left behind. Whether I use it or not doesn't matter, I just don't want anything left. That's another clean runner right there. Honestly, this box would make a really good shelf just due to how large it is. Like, this thing is absurdly huge. It has been 3 hours since stream has begun, I believe. We just hit the 3-hour mark. Still, this is still pretty good for a build stream. Usually they can go for a lot longer. Like, I actually managed to finish the main build in a reasonable amount of time. The only thing holding me back at this point is just the shield. Now, this thing has a ton of parts to it. Oh, I think I found a holster point as well. For the rifle, potentially. Like a 3mm peg. Gotta be careful when cutting out these parts still, because there's a lot of things still that, like all these tiny little details that can still, be accidentally cut off if I'm not careful. Okay, that's a lot of runners done. All the internal runners are done. We don't have to ever worry about those again. Now to get all the other parts out onto the mat. And to deal with all the undergating on all this. Jesus Christ, there's so much undergating. Why is there so much of it on this kit? Like, a lot of these parts don't need this much undergating. Like, I personally don't understand why they chose to use this much undergating. Because there is a lot of undergating. Okay, there we go. A lot more parts. Oh, okay, no, I still have a lot more parts to cut out, but you know, I'll just cut them all out right now, so I just saved myself some time. Since these are all pretty distinct from one another, if not, they can be pretty much interchangeable. So, you know, just for speed, for times, well, for, yeah, partially for speed and for, like, just saving time, plus for, you know, ease of building, I'm cutting everything out right now. Because there is a lot of parts we still need to get through. Like, look at all this. Okay, I think that's most of these parts out. I'm gonna move all of this aside just because I'm gonna need the space. This is only all the white parts. We still need all the blue parts and the yellow parts. There's a lot of parts. As I said, the bit on parts are the most annoying parts to assemble on this in this build, just because, well, there is a lot of parts to cut out. A ton of tiny parts to put together. And they also decided to undergate most of these parts, which I still don't understand why. It's such a pain to do. Okay, I don't think these part sets have any undergating. If they did, I think I already cut it out. Good. Okay, that's all the white parts and the structural parts. You still have these yellow and blue parts. So we are far from over. Like, you'd think the finish line was in sight, but no, it was just a hallucination. The finish line is just a couple more miles down the road after running a marathon. Just because this monstrosity shows up. Okay, we're actually almost done cutting out all the blue parts. Did manage to get a good chunk of these cut out already. Just by cutting out most of them at the exact same time. Like, I don't care what parts go where, I can probably just figure it out just by looking at the rough shape. Okay. At least there's a lot of color separation. Okay, I think that's actually all the runners done. I think we're finally done with that. Christ, that's a lot of stuff. Yeah. Okay, so that's all the remaining parts cut out and laid out. I'm setting Ariel off to the side over here, because again, I will need all this space. Let's begin. Oh, come on, please, fit properly. As I said before, we could just assemble this into the shield, but I plan on just throwing this directly onto the aerial. And they're a bit on form. But again, I really like this color separation. Like, all this is showing through. Do have a nice little sandwich of parts there. Which way are you facing? Okay. Have to loop in some parts there. And then you got this part on top. Oh boy, that's really nice structure there. Yeah, that is really appealing to look at. Just because, again, on the bottom side, at least there's a ton of color separation there. Which the same can't be said about certain parts, like underneath the skirts. But since these are going to be like able to be posed on 3mm pegs as well, well, they probably do get the full treatment. Okay, so I think this part's used up next. Oh, this. And this. So this should just snapped in there. And this should just get tossed up in here. So this part feels like it should be able to move, like flip out or something. Okay. Now that that is done, I hope that's in properly. Let's get some other parts on here, some color separation. Is this in the right way? I think it is. Okay. So you still have a couple more parts to throw together. You know, I could probably just attach it to the shield since it's pretty easy anyways. Alright, let's see what's next. So we got these two and then these. How do you want to attach? Like so? Yeah. And then these just go directly on top. Nice. Really simple. That's good. That's good. I like simplicity. I like the simplicity. Okay. Got that. There's a couple more parts done. Now for these. think I need this part and it looks like no, the other one. Yeah. And then one of these. Is there any order? Okay, no, there is. Oh, wrong part. Sandwich these together first, and then these go on like so. Make sure they're in the right orientation. Same with this, I guess. Everything is sandwiched properly. Nice! Okay, this is easier than I expected. Thankfully. Okay, so I'm not gonna be using these. Because, unless... Actually, I might be using one of them. I might have her wield one beam saber. But for sure, I'm using this. I really like this. Where else am I gonna find an effect part like that, you know? Like, I think I prefer this effect part over the high grade one because of how much longer this is. My goodness. Of course, you have a dedicated trigger finger just for this, but you know. I don't think it, like, holds too well, though. That might need some work. I think it just kind of loosely stays in there. Okay, so these two parts over here, they go onto the shield. Kind of snap in, I believe. Yeah. These parts do slide, it seems. It will probably be a pain in the ass to assemble a shield, though, now that I think about it. There's a lot of parts to it. So this would just attach down here. It does rotate, so be careful, I guess. Then these. Oh, and there goes my beam saber holding hand. Let's see, so these do slide a bit as well. As you can see there. They can slide and fold out. Don't know why it slides though, I'll be honest. So this just fits on like so. And then there's just a couple more parts left. Don't know where these go. Actually, no, I think I see where they go. Oh, wait, no. The instructions never told me to do this. Either that or I completely missed that step. But apparently these are supposed to be attached here. You kind of click into place. I don't know how far in they're supposed to go. Okay, then these two should attach. Before this just caps off the escutcheon. There we go, we have the giant shield that the aerial carries. That attaches to the back of the arm, like so. Of course, the arm does bend. Of course, you're gonna have to repose everything. So, yeah, it does move like that. You can bring it up. It popped in half. Don't think okay, there we go. Now I pushed it in all the way. So, you can bring this up and forward like so by rotating the arm properly, or as I'm about to demonstrate, you can use its bit-on form. So I'm setting down Ariel first. So, in order, we need to remove, I believe, this first, then these, pop these apart. Just kind of wiggle them apart, you know? Then I believe this centerpiece can be removed. It's a bit hard to, but it should be able to come out. Just kind of have to finagle with it a bit. Spread these open. These should just pop right off before this comes off. So her bit-on form is a bit asymmetrical. These should just slide right onto the shoulders, like so. Oh, I do have these sabers move slightly. So these can move freely up and down. I'll probably have them posed downwards for now. Let's see. So her side skirts, well, don't really get longer. It's just that these get attached to their thighs. These can rotate, by the way. That's why those pegs are there. Just for Ariel to attach some more things to her thighs. Let's see, I believe this and... oh no, one of these. Oh yeah, you. Let's see. Yeah, I was right. This is supposed to somehow flip out. If I can figure out how to get it out. There we go. This is supposed to flip out like that. These are supposed to attach in here and attach to her back side to create a back skirt of some sort. Right in here, it just kind of plugs in. So this can move independently as well. It does move up and down. These swing forward and out. And finally, these two should attach to our arms. So this one attaches up here on the right. And the other one should attach onto our left. Oh, that fell off. But this is Ariel's bit-on form. So all this can be independently articulated. Can also be annoying because I feel like some of these pegs are a bit too short. But, you know, that's just my own opinion on this. I believe her rifle can still be attached to her back or backpack via, what was it? This adapter right here. So this should just kind of plug in here and just allow it to just slap onto her backpack for storage. But yeah, there we go. We have Ariel's bit-on form. And I think this is where I'm going to wrap up this stream for now. Let's see, there are ways of attaching all this to action bases, but I'm not going to do that because I don't have an action base handy. And also, yeah, I think that's all I gotta say. There is again, there are these decals that you can attach. I may or may not apply them off stream. Depends on how I feel, because you know there is a lot of decals. A lot of decals. Like, oh my gosh, there's an insane number. That's probably gonna take a couple hours at least. But for now, this is, I wouldn't say this is anime accurate because again, her upper torso would be wider than it already is. But this is reimagined Gundam Aerial in full mechanics. It does have a ton of little gimmicks despite not being a master grade. It doesn't have the frame of one, but it certainly has the looks and details of one. Like, there's a lot in here to take in. I do really like the color separated eyes, for example. The bit on form is pretty nice. I wouldn't need to probably get an action base to fully utilize it, but nonetheless, it's still a very nice kit. It is priced similarly to some other master grades. Personally, I might have considered picking up some of those instead of Aerial. That's just me, because it's not like Aerial was my favorite Gundam or anything. I just wanted to see what the full mechanics line had in store when I picked her up, because I did hear that she was very good in full mechanics. So that's what I did. I grabbed her full mechanics variant. So with that all said and done, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you all for watching. On Friday, I do plan on streaming Yakuza 0. I haven't played that game in a while. I'm probably gonna be starting from scratch, just to, you know, have a shot at the game again, you know, just for fun. I plan on streaming the entire story of Yakuza 0, so take that as you will. Anyways, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you all for coming, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!